make my own podcast, but I was reluctant because I felt like I needed all these different tools and gadgets and microphones and computers just to make it happen. But then I heard about the Anchor app, and it made it so easy to make my own podcast. Plus, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from the palm of your hand with your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
We're back inside the Playbook Podcast family. Thank you guys for taking a ride with your brother from another. And y'all, before we get going into the next segment, y'all, I need you guys to like, comment, share, and help us as we continue to expand our horizons to bring the barbershop to your podcast, all right? So go to Spotify, Spreaker, Anchor, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast platform as we continue to look to build on our foundation that we built over the last couple of months right here on the Playbook Podcast, y'all. And listen, before we get into moving the chains, let's get right into the trivia question of the day. And honestly, I really don't even have to give you a long speech in regards to the trivia question of the day. We just had one of a very huge holidays that was officially put in place over the last couple of days. And we're going to talk more about that in stereo on the other side. What significance does June 19th have to African American people? That's the trivia question of the day. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break as well. And listen, with the NFL still in training camp and mini camp, let's get right into the news that has been going on as we move the chains. So y'all, listen, we're moving the chains. We got some things heating up around the NFL. We've been talking kind of in stereo over the last couple of weeks about Aaron Rodgers and his situation with the Green Bay Packers. But let's talk about some guys that actually deserve a new bag, if you will. We got some quarterbacks that are due for some contract extensions, the likes of Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson. I mean, they've seen Mahomes get his payday. And honestly, deservedly so. But come on now. You got Lamar Jackson out here. You got Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. Josh Allen, out of the three, I feel like definitely deserves a new bag. And honestly, he's come out on record as saying, like, yo, I'll do whatever it takes to maybe even take a lesser bag so that this team can continue to be great over the next decade or so. I mean, he's 24, 25. And, you know, you look at what the Patriots have done this all season. You got the Miami Dolphins up and coming in the AFC East. And the Jets, maybe after a while, might actually make the step that they need to be successful in the AFC East as well. We'll have to see about that. But Josh Allen, to me, definitely deserves a contract extension from the Buffalo Bills. They want to make sure they secure their quarterback of the future. And man, what he was able to do last season with a premier wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, the sky is the limit on where Buffalo is able to go moving forward in the AFC. They kind of get slept on a little bit. You know, they're not really, the sexiest pick compared to the Kansas Cities of the world, compared to now the Tennessee Titans. They're the hottest thing. You got Julio Jones. You got Derrick Henry. You got A.J. Brown. You got Ryan Tannehill. And Buffalo's kind of getting a little slept on. Josh Allen definitely deserves his bag, along with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has a lot to prove this season for the Baltimore Ravens, and they really haven't given him a lot of help at the wide receiver position. They made some moves with rookie Rashad Bateman, but they still need a couple of really great receivers to help break up the field for Lamar Jackson. It's very easy to defend the Ravens right now. They're going to run the block. They're going to run the ball. That's what they do. But giving Lamar Jackson a solid safety valve, not only at tight end, but also a solid route running receiver that can break slants, that can get downfield, that would do wonders to his career as a quarterback in the NFL if he could really truly get some help on the outside. So Baltimore, look to do that. See what type of moves you can make to try to make sure you really can secure the bag for your franchise quarterback moving forward. And the Cleveland Browns, they decided not to pick up the option on Baker Mayfield. They're looking for building a contract extension with their franchise quarterback of the future. And Baker made some great strides last season, but I got to look at this if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, right? Baker Mayfield had a tremendous season with Kevin Stefanski as their as their coach of the Cleveland Browns. But you didn't have Odell Beckham Jr. You still got Jarvis Landry. You still have David Njoku. And then you bring in Austin Hooper as well. The sky's the limit to where this offense can really go in Cleveland. We'll have to see if they can stay upright and stay fresh and stay healthy. And man, Cleveland could really, truly scare some folks in the AFC. If everybody is healthy, you still got a great running back tandem in Kareem Hunt and also and Nick Chubb as well. This backfield is dangerous. The weapons on the outside are dangerous as well for Baker Mayfield. Cleveland got to make sure they lock up Baker Mayfield for the future because he's a solid quarterback, especially under the system with Kevin Stefanski. We've been talking about everyone getting the bag for quarterbacks, but we got to show some love to the defensive backs as well around the NFL. We got some guys that have been making some real moves on the outside. And let me start specifically. Let's go right to Green Bay. We already talking about Aaron Rodgers, but we got to talk about Jair Alexander, cornerback for the Green Bay Packers. And man, this young brother has been making noise around the NFL since he came out and they drafted him out of Louisville. He's been making an impact on the Green Bay defense, and it's done wonders to where Green Bay really was. They were struggling. They were getting beat so much on the outside before they actually signed Jair Alexander to be their cornerback right out of Louisville. And from there, he's made Pro Bowls. He's made all defensive teams. And he's probably going to get over $100 million. That's how good this guy is. He's not the biggest of cornerbacks, but he makes impact plays over and over and over and over and over again. He's showing that 2019 wasn't a one-year fluke. And he also was one of the most valuable defenders according to his wins above replacement score last season, where he's right there at the top. 24 years old. Got to make sure if you're Green Bay, you lock this kid up right now. 2020 Pro Bowl selection, entering his fourth season. Got to make sure you extend this guy and make sure you lock him up for the foreseeable future if you're the Green Bay Packers. Speaking of also young cornerbacks, J.C. Jackson, New England Patriots. Young brother, undrafted. Talk about grit and grind. Almost similar to the Memphis Grizzlies. Yo, listen, this guy's been doing it for the last couple of seasons in New England. They don't want to pay Stephon Gilmore, but they better make sure they pay this young brother right here. He had 9 picks last season for the New England Patriots. Undrafted free agent. He's going to be a restricted free agent this all season as well. 25 years old, 17 interceptions over the last couple of seasons for New England. They better make sure they lock in J.C. Jackson in their secondary. Also, Cleveland Browns, Denzel Ward, they decided not to pick up his option, his 5th-year option. But I'm telling you, they better make sure they sign Denzel Ward back quickly. You got Jadeveon Clowney, you got Myles Garrett on the bookends, and you got Denzel Ward on the outside. And listen, if you're Cleveland, you'd be a fool not to make sure that, all right, we got to make sure we bring Denzel Ward back. Period. It's objective 1, 2, and 3. We made sure we shored up the offense. We got Jadeveon Clowney on the outside now to help out Myles Garrett. And listen, you got to make sure the Warden locks down the corner for the Cleveland Browns for the next 4 or 5 years in Cleveland. Minkah Fitzpatrick came over from the Miami Dolphins, and man, it seems like this brother was born to play for the black and gold. Suited up, booted up, making an impact on the defensive side of the ball for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And hey, he thought he was too pretty for South Beach. He comes to Pittsburgh. He's going to put on his hard hat and go to work. And man, this 24-year-old has been making plays over the last 2 seasons. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3 fumbles, recovered 4, 20 passes, defended 9 interceptions. Stats speak for themselves for how Minkah Fitzpatrick deserves the bag for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, y'all, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got Turner's Top 5 Sports Moments of the Week, and we're going to talk more in stereo about the trivia question of the day. We got more of what you came here for on the other side. This is your brother from another, and this is the Playbook Podcast. Back inside the Playbook Podcast, y'all. And again, special shout out to all the fathers out there handling their biz, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, their wife, their lady, whoever it might be in their life. Special shout out to all the fathers on this particular day that we call Father's Day, y'all. And listen, again, I need you guys to go to Spotify, Anchor, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast platform, as we look to continue to expand our horizons as we present the barbershop to your podcast, man. And listen, all your support is definitely needed and appreciated as we look to try to bring this whole thing to life even the more. Because we all live a busy life. We got different things going on in our personal life, different things that kind of prohibit us from being able to have a relaxing moment where we can look at the game, see what's going on, and go from there. But that's where I come in. I'm a resource to you. I bring you what you need. All right. I know that you guys throughout the week, you're busy, you got stuff going on, and I just drop you guys or girls a little bit of what's been going on around the NBA, around the NFL, and I give you guys some top 5 moments of the week. And that's what I do. And I love what I do. All right. So listen, before we get inside Turner's Top 5 Moments of the Week, y'all, I got to give you guys the trivia question of the day. And trivia question of the day, quite simple, y'all. What holiday, what day is celebrated on June the 19th by African Americans? And we call it simply Juneteenth. Juneteenth was established June 19th, 18